So normally I start off this show really excited, but KJ reminded me it's a somber day for a topic that we'll get to in a second. But if you're watching right now at home, KJ already knows I'm going to say, nope, not salud this time because somebody died. Dollar Dog Night, RIP.
Yeah.
Raise one up, my friends, to Dollar Dog Night, 1997 to 2004.
Yeah.
Gone, but never forgotten. Welcome to another episode of Sippin' Sports. I'm here joined with two of Philadelphia's greatest TikTokers and two of my greatest friends, KJ McCoy and Chaos Chris. How are we doing today, gentlemen?
Pretty good.
Great.
How are you guys feeling about Dollar Dog Night? I mean, why don't we just dive right into our first topic? Like from your opinion, KJ, you said earlier, are you about Dollar Dog Night being banned? Are you not about it? Did you think it was coming?
Well, I told you last week it was bound to happen because a bunch of idiots decided to throw the freaking wrappers on the field. And when you do that kind of idiotic kind of behavior, something's going to happen. And so that's what the Phillies did. They canned it. And I mean, they just said, we're done with it. And I don't blame them. I mean, it's probably hitting a bunch of kids in the face or whatever. And like little kids who parents bring their kids to watch the Phillies. And then they realize it's Greek night and all these drunk idiots are throwing hot dog wrappers and whatever, like, it's Dollar Dog Night, and they're just chucking in or whatever. And so, yeah, I think it was bound to happen, and it is sad. And I know Dalton's been having the tissues on the side of him for 24/7. He's been crying all the past 2 nights and whatever, and he's, yeah. Oh, the shirt, yeah, RIP the shirt, I forgot, yep. RIP the
You're muted.
Shout out to Gianna, I was going to say,
Yeah,
and
Gianna.
KJ and the entire 302 Birds team that helped us make this shirt. But I'm trying to make a tribute shirt, so stay tuned for an RIP Dollar Dog Night. I have an idea. I just need to get it like made today. But yeah, dude, the tissues have been out.
Yeah,
I've been sad. And I don't
right.
disagree with you. Like, you're right about the part about like the littering and the throwing the hot dogs. But I heard somebody say, and I actually don't disagree with this, how is it any different from hot dogs being shot out of the cannon when somebody's not looking? Like, okay, like that's a fair point. It's just a lot more. It makes us not look good. I think it's a bad look, and the wrappers is what I don't like. I don't like the throwing either. Throw them outside of the field. You know what I mean? Throw them outside of the field all you want. Because the guy on the left of your screen and the guy on the right of your screen have both, I've seen, and it's in video documentation, thrown hot dogs in the Jetro parking lot before. Remember the
I
game?
have not. What are you talking about?
And
Oh,
then-
yeah, you're right. You're right. We were okay. So we
Guilty
were
as charged, bro.
okay. We were throwing it to each other. Okay, we were having a pass, and that's different.
I'll have to watch the tape. Mine didn't look like a pass. Maybe yours did. Mine looked more like an assault. I'm kidding.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, we were playing what's called jackpot with the hot dogs. That's what we were.
But they threw them first, and in KJ's defense, like he's saying, it's all in good fun. That's what I didn't like about the Dollar Dog Night. There were people that were uncomfortable with it. But Jesus, it's now what? The hot dogs there, are they $4.50 or $5 normally?
$5.
$5.
So yeah, it's $2.50 dog night. And if you're like my one buddy, and this is where I'll leave it, he stood in 8 innings, like in line for 8 innings. That's nuts. Last year's Dollar Dog Night. That's, to me, it's like, why do you even go to the game? And I love the kid to death, but it's like, I would not even go to the
Not
game.
a dollar dog.
Yeah,
at that point.
that's what I was going to bring up. I was going to be waiting the whole freaking game just to get a hot dog. And Chris kind of said this in his video, his TikTok yesterday. You can bring food into Citizens Bank Park now. So you can do that. So go to Wawa or go wherever and go buy a hot dog. You can even buy a ballpark Tommy hot dog. Oh, you can even do that. And you can bring it in the stadium. They're not going to stop you. It's not like you have an open alcohol or an open drink or whatever. It's not that. That's not the case. But yeah, go get a hot dog or whatever. Don't be crying about it like Dalt and have your tissues there and won't get over it. We'll get over it for the next freaking 5 months. And every
Can I come to the McCoy household and get a hot dog or two before the game? Will you make me one?
Yeah. You can always call the McCoy household. My dad's got some hot dogs in the freezer. Oh, he's always
Seriously, there's nothing like a good cheese dog in the ballpark with some Chicky and Pete's crab fries. Spend a little bit of extra money.
Another obsession Dole has the crab fries. Me and Chris.
We make fun of him all the time for it.
Yeah. Fun fact, I only go to the games for the crab fries. That's why I leave early, guys. Like when I get the crab fries,
Makes sense. You and
everything
my
I
sister.
needed.
You and my sister used to do the same thing.
Oh my god.
I just want to go for the crab fries.
Hey, I don't blame her. The crab fries are worth it. They're a good piece to go for. My girlfriend Alyssa, same way. That's like half of the reason why she goes, and that's like 90% of the reason why I go. I'm kidding. Chris, what are your thoughts on all of it?
Fake. Shoot, I can't even.
Fake fan.
There you go.
I got it.
So I mean, I've said my thoughts on Dollar Dog Night before. I mean, it's cool for a little bit, but like at this point, you got it ruining the game, right? You got people throwing hot dogs on the field, and we're stopping the game at times. That's the one thing you don't want promotions to do is stop the game. So yeah, it sucks. There's no more Dollar Dog Night, but again, you're saying people were waiting eight innings for a hot dog. At that point, it's not a dollar dog. You're paying $50 for the ticket. At that point, you're paying $50 for a hot dog. I think what we all should do is on these BOGO Dollar Dog Nights or BOGO Dog Nights they have now, set up a tailgate in the parking lot. We all make hot dogs on our little grill and bring them into the stadium. There's our new Dollar Dog Night.
Yeah.
I'm for it. I'm literally all for it. If you guys are cooking them, I'm eating them.
We can make some good money selling some hot dogs and money. Oh man, yeah.
Well, you ain't gonna make if you're selling them for $1, you're not gonna make any money. Awesome. That's part of the reason they're not doing
it. Chris, just picture this. You're walking up to a Phillies game in the spring, right? And you see at Alex's lemonade stand, you're like, okay, cool. I want some lemonade. Right next to it, you see this guy, McCoy's hot dogs. Hot dogs! And he's just chucking them at people. Get your hot dogs! And I'm like, how much?
They're
British and dog night. With
if
KJ
Alex's
McCoy.
lemonade stand was right next to it, I would never disrespect Alex's lemonade stand.
No, not disrespect.
I have a good friend
who saying that's where
I grew up with.
Everybody has to set up all together, all the vendors.
Yeah, of course.
He's got the shit. He's got the hot dog burner shit.
Yeah.
You'll have the
they're burnt. Yeah, I can't cook the crap.
KJ that's selling hot dogs and cheesesteaks like they have in New York, and he's like, "Hey kid, get off my territory." KJ's going to be competing businesses with him. He's out there.
He's going to undercut his prices.
The Girl Scouts are going to be out there too. They're going to be like, "Yo, KJ, you better beat it, man!" Like they're ready to hit KJ.
Oh, geez, my little niece is going to go crazy.
Massive loss on hot dogs.
KJ's out here starting a business that people have already been running.
Well, I got to get one of those hot dog guns.
Pretzel guys are ready to go at it. They have them as on as boxing gloves.
I got to get one of the hot dog guns on eBay or whatever.
The Barbera Bear's going to be over there.
That'll be the best promotion ever. Like if you're just shooting one of them up. Like if we did it like, what was the game when we were younger?
Crazy.
I forget the name of it. What was it?
Whack-a-mole?
No, it wasn't whack-a-mole. It was like basically a game where you would throw it up and the first person that would jump up.
Jackpot. I was just discussing that. Yeah, jackpot.
You should do jackpot with that gun.
Oh,
that would be pretty cool.
That'd be sick.
Have people fight over hot dog in
a hot dog gun or a shirt gun, whatever it is. Because I think you can still shoot hot dogs in a shirt gun. I'm pretty sure you can. Shirt cannon.
In all seriousness, though, why is there not like a burger night? I mean, I'm a burger guy too. Where's that?
They cost more. Because they cost more.
Burgers cost more.
Remember, it's about cost.
What about $5 burger night? You know what I mean? If it's an $8 burger, what if they did that promotion? I'd buy that. People wouldn't throw a burger, I don't think. That's expensive.
Dobbins!
Or anything.
What up, Dobbins?
Real.
Dobbins is in the chat.
Dobbins!
What's up?
I
gotta look at the chat. I got to get Colin in there.
Positive.
Positive and Dobbins. What's going on, man? How are you guys feeling about Dollar Dog Night being banned?
Let us know. Call them negative,
Is that all we got about Dollar Dog Night, though? I mean, I don't have anything else to say to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before.
Dalt, all we got to say is, where's your violin at, buddy? Where's your violin? Where's the sad music?
Violin right here.
Tissues and all that stuff.
All right, so I have a question for you guys. Chris brings it up. Chris is a big Flyers fan. I know me and KJ. KJ's a bigger fan than me. I'm getting into it. How you guys feeling about buy or sell? We'll start with Chris.
I flip-flop like every night. Like one night they win, they beat the shit out of a good team, and then the next night they lose to a bad team. It's just like the flip-flop back and forth. It's like I feel like it's going to be modified. Like they're going to maybe go after a decent backup goalie, but also sell some of your pieces you don't really need for the future. It's like I feel like they can make a run, but it's also stick to the original plan and let's keep building this and wait for Mitchkov to come and then let's get some superstars in here and run it back.
Well, I heard an interview recently on 94 of Jonesy.
Frauds.
Yeah, Jones, and he was talking about how he's not surprised with the success the team's been having. He thinks this team's a playoff team, but he doesn't see this team as a Stanley Cup team. And I mean, he did say that.
He's right.
Yeah, and he's totally right because you don't have the goalie that you thought you had before. Obviously, the goalie wasn't. I mean, I always thought he was always overrated, and I didn't have too much of an opinion about him. But yeah, I think this team is a good team. I think they're a team that's going to be good and a Stanley Cup contender in a couple years. I just don't think this year is the year. But you never know because Vegas came out of nowhere as an expansion team a couple years ago, and they freaking won the Stanley Cup. The year they came in the NHL, they went to the Stanley Cup, lost. But last year they're defending champs. So you never know what happens. It's kind of like in baseball, where a team can come out of nowhere and go to the championship and win it all. So you never know.
You guys took all the words out of my mouth. The only thing I'll say is that it's been really fun to bet on the Flyers because in all seriousness, they've been consistent. It's nice betting on a Philly team when you're like, okay, they're probably going to win. I think it was the game last Saturday or maybe Sunday where it was like 1-1 in the second, and then they ended up putting up like 3 goals in the third, or maybe it was in the second. That game, I was watching that live, and I was just like, this team's legit. Like, this team has momentum. This team has heart, and really excited to watch it. But like I said, you guys took the words right out of my mouth. Kicking it now to KJ McCoy. If you guys didn't know, KJ's actually going to be going to work in Camden in a couple weeks. He's going to be crafting a statue of Allen Iverson himself.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be hand making it to tribute the Philadelphia legend. How excited are you in all seriousness about the statue, my man?
I'm pumped. As you can see, I could probably kind of flip it. I love Iverson. I mean, there's a whole Iverson tribute right there, like a poster. You got Iverson stepping over Tyrone Lue. Huge Iverson fan. So this is well-deserved for AI. It kind of sucks it's going to be in Camden and not at the Wells Fargo Center, but I get it, though, because you never know. The team might move. But maybe they'll move the statue to the new location in where is it? Franklin Mills or whatever mall they build over in 2030 or whatever. So maybe they'll relocate the statue. But I'm pretty pumped for AI. My favorite player of all time, for sure.
Yeah. So KJ is not going to like this opinion whatsoever. But players who have not won a championship don't deserve a statue, in my opinion. So, and that goes for anyone. I know Iverson, hell of a player. There's no doubting it. But I just don't think that players who haven't won a championship deserve a statue. So, and another thing with this is you're putting it in fucking Camden. Nobody's going to go see this statue.
Yeah.
Like, it's useless. You got a Dr. J statue outside of the Wells Fargo Center. So why can't you put an Iverson statue out there anyway? Like,
Yeah, will too.
it's stupid to me. It's stupid to me. Like, I don't understand why you're putting this in Camden. It's basically going to be just in the practice facility, probably. Like, nobody's going to be able to actually go see it. So it's dumb.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't really disagree with what you're saying. So, I mean, you thought I was going to hate your opinion with it, but I don't blame you. Like, as you said, it's going to be in Camden. It's not going to be like people aren't going to be like going to Camden and being like, oh, let's go visit the Iverson statue. I mean, maybe some fans who are huge Iverson fans from all over the world, maybe they'll do that and they'll be stupid enough to do that. But then they'll realize it's Camden, New Jersey. It's Camden, New Jersey. It's not Philadelphia. So, yeah, that's what I think about it. I actually don't disagree with what Chris is saying. But yeah, they have a Charles Barkley statue out there, and he didn't win a championship with the Sixers. So, I mean, they've already done this before. So I'm not surprised they're doing it.
It's true.
I'll say this. I'm excited for it, but I like Chris said, and like you said, KJ, it's in the wrong location.
Yeah.
Put it outside the Wells Fargo Center. Chris, you're not all wrong with the championship take there. I just feel like, in my opinion, this city, we don't have a lot of championships, so we're going to have statues anyway. So I guess Iverson's probably the most deserving Sixer right now. I mean, it's probably him or Embiid. Maybe Barkley. I don't think Barkley has a statue, does he? Oh,
geez,
anyway, sorry. The boy's coming to help out. What's up, Colin, our New York producer? Shout out to him. But back to Iverson. I'm excited for the statue. I think it's deserving. I just think in Camden, like people will be there for the ceremony for it. They'll go see it in April. After that, nobody's ever going to go see it again. So you better relocate it. Like KJ's going to be there. He's going to be there opening day, filming a TikTok out there. You know what I mean? He's going to be doing his thing. I might go.
I'll have cornrows. I'll literally have cornrows and whatever. You can literally Photoshop me with cornrows and whatever.
That would be amazing. KJ with cornrows.
Is that acceptable?
I mean, yeah. I guess
Hey, what's his name? Riff Raff did it.
Yeah, Riff Raff does have cornrows.
Riff Raff's
Post
a different breed, though.
Post Malone. So
okay.
Malone did, yeah, that's true. Yeah. But back to Iverson, I would be excited to see the statue being built, but like they should have just put it outside Wells Fargo.
I think they didn't do it because they know the future might not be the Sixers.
But they could relocate it from Wells Fargo.
They could relocate it. You're totally right. It's going
to get no love in Camden, I don't think. That's my problem with it.
I mean, also, I was going to ask you guys this. Is it going to be a bad statue, just like how the Kobe Bryant statue is in L.A.?
Oh.
I'm dead serious because I don't know if you guys saw that.
Do we want to like look up the statue contractor and like see
hopefully it's the same guy who did the Pole statue. If it's the same guy who did the Pole statue, we're cool.
Yeah, because that's a great statue, but the Kobe Bryant statue in LA that they just revealed. I mean, rest in peace to Kobe. Love Kobe to death. But at the same time, though, it's just like it's like a skinny version of him. It's just like it doesn't look any bit like him. And then they did a Cristiano Ronaldo statue, and people were I don't know where it was, but people were saying it looks like Kristaps Porzingis. So a lot of these statues sometimes they just don't look like the players at all. So hopefully this looks like Iverson, but I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't look like him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either. So when we get our Embiid statue in 10 years, are you excited for that? Because this guy is trending towards a return. I personally think, in my opinion, he's going to get a championship. I keep talking about it with my friends. And the fact that Embiid has time to go sit down, he has time to rest, chill out, go have a couple Chick-fil-A sandwiches before the playoffs, do his thing for real. Like, he has time to actually relax. I think he's going to come back really well rested. It's going to probably take him a game or 3 to get back in the swing of it. But if you bring him back like 2 or 3 games before the playoffs, this guy should be playing really good basketball. And as a result of that, I think so will your team. I think that this could actually be the eclipse year for Embiid and the Sixers. Like, if it doesn't work out this year when you have him this rested, you better trade him, in my opinion, because I don't think it's ever going to work out. If it does work out, though, like I personally think that it will, in my opinion right now, get ready for a parade on Broad Street, baby, because it's going to be a great time. I really do think this short span, playing good basketball, not worried about the MVP, just worried about winning, it would be a very good look for his career if he can just hone in on this. He would be no doubt in my mind a first ballot Hall of Famer if he can just get this last accolade on his resume. Overpaid scrub, Alex is saying. How are you feeling about it, KJ? We'll start with you.
So I've kind of touched on this before with Embiid. Love Embiid to death. Joel Embiid, the process. I mean, it's been great having Embiid, but here's the problem though. They just don't, and I think Chris has kind of said this before. They don't really like surround him with the right players. I feel like it's every year that they don't surround him with the right players, or we do surround him with the right players and then we get rid of those players. Jimmy Butler was the perfect example for that. The any bit of Embiid like ever getting a championship was that year, and we had Jimmy Butler, and obviously the what's it called? The shot happened from Kawhi. So unfortunately, our championship year did not happen that year. But yeah, I would love to see them win a championship with Embiid, but do I think it's going to happen? No, I don't. I think it's really tough with the Sixers because it's either Embiid gets hurt or we just start choking. But I'll tell you one thing, though. You have a new coach, which a lot of the choking's kind of gone because Doc Rivers is not here anymore. It could change. But I kind of do see them more like choking than them actually just winning a championship. So they could make it to the finals, but they might lose. So that's why.
Wow. KJ being negative about the Sixers. Wow, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
But I agree with him 100%. I don't see Embiid truly being healthy. I think this is an injury that needs to heal a lot more than it's actually going to heal. I think they're going to rush him back too early. And it's also, yeah, he's coming back, but he's also coming back to a completely different team. Like Lowry wasn't here. Buddy Hield wasn't here. These are integral parts of your team now. You're missing guys like Pat Bev, who was here. So it's a different group of guys that he's going to have to try to work with on the fly. So I think they can make a run in the Eastern Conference Final, but I don't think they're winning Eastern Conference Final. That's probably about as far as I can see them going.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's bring home the championship. Let's have a parade. I'll be the one devil's advocate that'll say it.
I'll just want to parade.
Give me the short span Embiid. Embiid, if you bring home a championship, you will never pay for a sandwich at Chick-fil-A again, as long as we're hanging out. I'll buy
Oh,
one.
that's great for me. Oh, sandwiches on me, everybody.
I really think that when he comes back, short span of basketball, this guy is going to put it together. But moving on to our last topic, some Philadelphia Eagles for you guys. KJ, you were the one that in the group chat I would say was probably the most connected to Kevin Byard. You wanted it to work out, right? Explain why.
I wanted to work out. I mean, I always want to see those Philly stories work out. I mean, the kids from Philly, they come here and it's freaking awesome. It's a great reunion. But at the same time, though, and I've said this in my video I made yesterday, it's always a make it or break it with these Philly stories. Right now, we have a Philly story. Kyle Lowry. Is it going to make it or is it going to break it? Chris thinks it's going to break it. I don't know if it's going to make it. It's 50-50 with Kyle Lowry. It just really depends on if Embiid will be back and he'll be healthy 100%. But yeah, a lot of these Philly stories don't work out. We saw it with Will Parks a couple of years ago. He was from Philly. He grew up as an Eagles fan, and it did not work out. We just saw it happen with Marcus Morris. He was barely here, and he got the keys to the city, and that was really cool. But then literally a week later, he gets traded for Buddy Hield. He was in the whole bit of a trade. So, yeah, I think it's I just lost my train of thought. My fault.
Do you want Ladarius Sneed? Not Legarius, Ladarius.
Yeah.
I would like.
Yeah. So back to the whole Kevin Byard thing. Yeah, I think it is sad, but you know what though? I mean, he only had one good game though here, and only one good game, and that was the Kansas City game because in his career, he's actually been able to stop Mahomes. He's been able to stop Travis Kelce.
He owned Dak Prescott for a while.
Yeah, he owned Dak Prescott as well.
He's got
so we
4
really
picks
thought
against Dak.
So that was what really made us hype and excited because we're like, oh, this guy can really help us and push us over the Cowboys for sure. But it just seemed like the defense. I mean, you switch coordinators in mid-season, that really screws it up. Darius Slade said this a couple weeks ago that it really screwed up our whole defense. So when you do that, it just puts a reset button. And I think Kevin Byard really couldn't grasp this defensive playbook. He just couldn't. So it's unfortunate, but I think they freed up some cap space and hopefully they can go get a guy like Ladarius Sneed. I don't know if that's that realistic because they just put the franchise tag on him. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Ladarius Sneed ain't happening.
Yeah,
sorry to tell you that.
That's what I'm saying, but I don't know why Dalt's cracking up.
Like Legarius is his name. That's why we're busting your balls. It's not Ladarius.
Is it Legarius?
No, okay, so somebody put Ladarius.
Did I say
Fuck. Yeah, somebody put Ladarius in the.
That was why I made fun of him. I was making fun of Angelo.
In the chat. So
I've been calling him Ladarius for fucking months.
Here we go.
But
okay, once he becomes an Eagle, we'll actually know how to pronounce his name, maybe.
He's not going to become an Eagle. He's going to cost way too much. He's just – they're not going to spend big money in a corner. If they're going to get somebody, they're going to get a safety. They're going to draft a corner. Like, if you look at the safety market this offseason, there's 10 – we've talked about this already. There's 10 really good safeties out there. You're
good
going to
at
go sign a safety and you'll draft a corner because the draft for corners is insane. I mean, Nate Wiggins yesterday ran a 4.29 40. That's insane. So, Kevin Byard getting cut doesn't surprise me whatsoever. I mean, I think it's 13 mil they save. I think Byard might be the reason that Desai got cut. He was saying that there was not much that they were allowing the defense to talk in those meetings. So I think he's the one who got Desai fired, and Patricia there just didn't work out. It's really what didn't work out.
Yeah. I mean, we all wanted to see him work out here in Philly. It just didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Didn't
Obviously. I mean, he was a good player before, but he just wasn't here.
So maybe a reunion of CJ Gardner-Johnson. I'm hearing
Fuck no.
Fuck no. Once you burn that bridge, I'm with Chris. You're out forever. He fucked himself, not once.
He did.
Twice. He burned the bridge twice, and he like made a point about it. And then he wanted to play with his NFC Championship ring. Watch Howie go back and sign him, and then this whole city like forget because like he's gonna have green hair, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my god, I love this!" You know what I mean? When did you run that, Dallas Cowboys, Chris? Like 1939, bro? Damn.
No, it's in the 20-yard dash. So he ran it 8-6.
A 20-yard. I get it now. Oh shit. Oh my god.
Cowboy Chris isn't that old, okay? He's not that old.
He is that old. Don't worry. He's fine with us
he's
saying
born
that.
in the 60s,
He loves it.
Man. He's
loves
born
it.
in the 60s.
Cowboys Chris,
So
you
he
need to
remembers
get
it.
us this trio on your show like as like a Power Rangers fight. Like us three Eagles fans versus like your best three Cowboys fans, and we'll just duke it out one week. That'll be hilarious.
Is that a race or whatever? What is it for a race?
No. Like we're just like going on there. Like him, I would probably say him. Armando and whoever that guy that cracks me up. 1977. There you go. That was a good year, man. I remember that year. I was like in my dad that year.
Yeah.
What do you think about CJ GJ? Should he come back? Take it away, Chris. Yes, no. Take my words out of my mouth.
Hell no. And it's beyond the talking shit, burning bridges out the door. The dude's missed 24 games in the last 3 years. He's injury prone as shit, and people want him back. I mean, come on. Like, let's be real here. Yeah, cool. He played 13 great games the other year. But like he missed 14 last year. He missed 6 the last 2 years. Like, it's just too many. He's missing too many games. They can't bring him back.
Yeah, I heard about that too, Tony. I heard about that too.
I'm in the hell no train for CJ GJ. Hell no. You burn the bridge once, you burn it twice, and then you want to come back here. You wanted to leave us when we needed you in a crucial. If we had him this past season, coffee's coming up. Shout out to Sippin' Sports. Make sure to drink your coffee. But if we had him this past season, it would have really changed the trajectory of this team. The secondary was a problem a lot of times for it, and it would have changed a lot of those games, I think, deep into the season when we needed a secondary player. And you left us. I'm not saying it was a bad thing you went to the Lions. You guys did great, but you didn't win a Super Bowl. That was the main goal. And you did what was best for you money-wise, but didn't you only leave for like a short amount of more money? I don't know. To me, it would have made sense to stay here. I think that there's other guys you can go out there and get. I think he was decent when he was here, but I also don't think that he's going to be able to replicate what he did, if that makes sense. Like what he did before was so difficult to do. Like anything that he does below that, we're going to be disappointed with. So I don't even want to be set up with that kind of failure. So I'm personally not for CJ GJ. Great question though, Angelo. Thank you, my man.
And then his whole narratives will be correct or whatever from people who aren't Philly fans, because we're all hearing about this whole Darius Slay thing and Steven Nelson on a podcast saying all this stuff about, oh, the fans are booing, all these fans, these fans don't understand and whatever. I just want to kind of clear this up. The reason sometimes we boo is because we know you're better. We know you're better. We know you're professionals. And we want you to go out there and ball out. If we boo, like you've said some stuff like CJ Gardner-Johnson, then that's a different kind of boo. You kind of got to think, though, why we're booing. It's not because we hate you. It's not because no. When we boo, it's for certain situations. And
We expect
for
more.
Darius Slay, when they're coming back in the second half or whatever, or Steven Nelson's perspective as well, it's because you guys need to lock up and do your job and be the lockdown corners that we know you guys could have been. So that's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. So no need to take it personal, be like, oh, you guys are horrible fans, don't appreciate us. That's not it. That's not the point. So that's all. That's something I just wanted to clear up.
Glad we said it. And on our way out of here, KJ and Chris, feel free. Some college basketball shit talking from the fans. I mean, first off, KJ got absolutely served up. Why don't you tell them your story about what happened to you, buddy?
Oh man. So I mean, you see my jersey right now. This is St. Joe's. My brother goes to St. Joe's. So they are my secondary college team. But my first college team that I support, unfortunately, is the Georgetown Hoyas. The reason is because my cousin went there. She swam there for years. And when I was young, she got me a Georgetown hat. And ever since I've been a Georgetown fan, this was around 2006, 2007. And that was the years of Jeff Green and Roy Hibbert. We went to the Final Four. Roy Hibbert and Jeff Green. Yeah.
Who?
That was the last time we've done anything productive. But I've stuck with the team no matter what. I mean, that's honestly what I've done. I've got a lot of crap from Villanova fans like Chris and other idiotic Nova fans. But at the same time,
Winners.
Much.
Say
I
right,
have
winners.
so much respect though for Nova. I really do. Jay Wright. Jay
Go.
Wright, though, one of the best coaches of all time, for sure. Great guy. I met him a couple times. I used to go to the Villanova basketball camp. I went, and I was known as the Georgetown kid. I literally had a Georgetown phone case, and
You should have got mugged.
And Daniel Ochefu wouldn't take a picture with me.
That's actually really good.
I love
He would
Ochefu.
not take a picture with me, and I said, "All right, fair enough." But yeah, no, I talked to Jay Wright a bunch, and he was always telling me all these stories about the battles they had with Georgetown. But this was back when we were relevant. So, but it was funny though. Me and Chris, I invited Chris last minute. I was like, "Yo, Chris, do you want to go to the Nova Georgetown game?" And he said, "Hell yeah, let's go." So I meet him there. I mean, well, actually, no, I meet at his house, and all of a sudden he opens the door, and I just see a middle finger. Boom. I just see the bird right there. Him with his Nova jersey and he says, "Get the F in here. Get in here." He's trying to tell his new dog, Harper. He says, "Harper, sick him. Sick him, Harper. Sick him." And I was like, wow, this is great. This is great. I try to explain to Harper in the dog language. I'm like, a Georgetown Hoya, technically, I don't know what a Hoya still is. I don't know what it is, but the logo is a bulldog. And I'm like, dogs love dogs. You hate cats. You're a dog, right, Moose? You had a friend named Eskimo. So shout out to Eskimo. But not all dogs hate cats. Long story short, we go to the game, and Georgetown, I already knew they were going to get killed, but I still came with my gear on. I knew that they were going to get killed. I came as a loyal fan. Didn't have any Nova gear because I don't own any Nova gear. So I didn't go flip flop and be like, "Oh, I'm a Nova fan," not a bandwagon. So I stuck with them. I wore the jersey the whole time. And they gave me a freaking veggie burger. They gave me a veggie burger. I was waiting in line. Chris was like, "Hey, you want to get some food?" And we were kind of like, we were talking about the whole thing about why we think Nova, their stadium is smaller. And they did some renovation recently. The problem is Radnor Township will not let them build upon the stadium. They don't want a big stadium like Wells Fargo Center. They don't want it causing traffic or anything like that. So that's why they've only built they expanded beyond. So they've just kind of made it longer of a stadium. That's it. But I was waiting in line, and Chris is like, "Yeah, just get some food or whatever." So I'm waiting in line, and I start to see they had these gourmet burgers and whatever. And it didn't say veggie burger or whatever. It just said cheeseburger. So I get the cheeseburger, and then I kind of look at it for a second. I'm like, this looks kind of weird. And I'm just like, it's probably nothing. And then all of a sudden we get to our seats, and Chris is like, "There's no way that's a veggie burger." And I'm like, "No, it's a regular burger." I take a bite out of it, and I'm like, "Okay, this tastes like straight up plants." I'm like, "Oh my God, it tastes like a freaking I mean, I'm sorry, Dad. I should know my plants, but I can't even eat a plant right now." But it tasted like a straight up plant. So I was like, yeah, Chris is right. So I just put the burger underneath my chair, and later I threw it out. And I was just like enjoying the chips, whatever, the fries or whatever they had. But Georgetown got smacked, and I knew they were. They are on their first year of having Ed Cooley as their head coach. Thank God they got rid of Patrick Ewing. I couldn't take it anymore. I know they wanted to keep that whole thing going with John Thompson and John Thompson Jr. So that's why when they fired John Thompson Jr., they said, all right, we got to get the next closest thing to him. And that's his player, his best player he ever had in Patrick Ewing. And the reason is, the reason why Patrick Ewing couldn't coach in the NBA is because how bad he was in college basketball as well. So yeah, it's excruciating having him as a coach. And now we have Ed Cooley. So I'm just kind of trusting the process, just like how I did with the Sixers for many years. And just kind
You'll be trusted for forever.
Yeah. So we'll just see though. We'll just see what happens. I think in a couple of years we'll have some recruits, and I will be at a Nova game with Chris, and I will just have I'll be the only one standing up at the fin, as they called it. Chris did not like when they called it the fin. He was like, that's not what it's called.
It's a pavilion.
It's the pavilion. And I will even say that as a Georgetown fan. It's the pavilion. And I will be standing up in all my Georgetown gear, and I'll be like, I'll just be screaming. I'll just be like, what's up? What's up, cuz? And I
told him I told him somebody's gonna sock him. He said, who's gonna sock me here? I'm like, I am. I think the funniest thing was, so he's over there getting his veggie burger, and I go over and they're giving out free drinks to Villanova students. I flash my Cabrini ID, which I've been graduated for 3 years now, and they give me a free drink.
Hey,
so
yeah, they did.
So that was my favorite part of the night, and also seeing KJ like try to mingle with other Georgetown fans. There was like 3 of them there.
There was 5. I counted 5.
There was 5. My bad. That's all that's left.
I gave fist pounds to 3 of them, but I saw, and
they're all players' moms or dads, or somehow related to the players. They're not actual fans because nobody actually gives a shit about Georgetown.
They were actual fans, and there was no women that I saw that with Georgetown gear. It was just men. It would have been cool to see some women with Georgetown gear, but I couldn't find any women with Georgetown gear.
You'll never find a woman with Georgetown gear.
Not around here.
Yeah.
The women around here are like Kylie Kelsey, where you can hardly get them to wear their spouse's brother, so their brother-in-law's team. That was the most legendary thing ever. That's how the ladies here are. So
yeah. Cabrini alumni, by the way.
Cabrini alum, yeah. Cabrini.
Yeah. Shout out
to Cabrini.
Yeah, that's right.
KJ and Chris.
No shout out to Cabrini.
Yeah, Chris doesn't like to shout them out. He doesn't like that. No.
I still owe them money.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, that's pretty much all we got for you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in this Saturday morning with us. Be sure to join next week. We're going to be doing these every Saturday morning, just breaking down a couple topics, Philly sports, pretty casual. Every Saturday morning around 10 a.m., depending on how quickly I can get this set up. But I don't got anything else unless either of you guys do.
No, not really.
Be sure to follow both these guys on TikTok at official KJ McCoy and at Chaos Chris PHL. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Sippin' Sports Pod, and stay tuned for more fun content. But without further ado, let's hit that outro.
Maury!
The Hawk will never die! Go Hawks! Thank you, KJ.